All right, welcome back to another episode of the Cameo podcast. Hashtag rap loops, because I'm still going to stealing it because those boys aren't on Facebook card yet, as far as I can tell. But they're doing some cool stuff. They got a show coming up July 12th at Cactus Jack's to give them free promo. But anyways, here with Cody Makasev of Holy Sock Gang.
DJ Billy Bishop.
That's you.
That's me.
Fuck me.
Yeah, I'm DJ Billy Bishop.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm starting to put it together. Why DJ Billy Bishop?
My middle name's William, and I used to play lots of chess. And then after the fact, I realized Billy Bishop's he's like a Canadian fighter pilot or something.
Yeah.
He shot down
yeah, he's a bit of a
of
legend.
Yeah, he's kind of a funny guy. I think he lied his way into the Air Force and shit like this.
Most did that day. But
Yeah.
Holy Sock Gang is also very.
Yeah,
You're like
collective.
pop punk rap collective.
We got
You
all
have
types
fun.
of things.
You have
going
fun.
on.
You,
Yeah, for
like
sure, man.
you got Rosmo of Clockwork.
He's not even in our crew, man.
You're not in your crew, but you guys
Clockwork's
did.
an affiliate. They're like
You did a
homies.
cipher with you guys though.
Yeah, we've done work with them tons of times. Rosmo's like an old homie. I've worked with that guy a long time.
So who are the three in Holy Sock Gang then?
Holy Sock Gang's like a crew of like 12 people. We got like
Oh really? I thought there was three of you.
so it's like it's really loose, but we got like myself, Uji, Jacob Evolved, Mizzy, Day, who Mizzy and Day are like Dem Rose boys.
Okay.
We got like Calvin and Jeremy up in the Yukon. Those guys are like
So you're like
Those are local
Brockhampton
boy.
of sorts.
yeah, but it's like way more loose. Like we
Way,
all got
way
our
more
own
loose.
we all got our solo stuff, and this was just like sort of a vehicle for all of us to like
It's kind of like
come
what's-
together. We had a studio space down in Gastown for a year.
Oh really?
So there's more members too that I haven't named, like Steve, Leia, Jordy, we got like a Mad Video team. We got tons of people, and then like tons of affiliates. There's like Josh, Amal. These are two guys that are like Josh does sort of singer-songwriter production.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. He's got some dope.
That
work.
explains why your guys' stuff is always top notch. Because that always blew me away. Because like, you guys came off very, very, I don't know, coordinated away. Because even just the idea of like having Holy Sock Gang, just that like chorus or whatever that is.
Oh yeah.
That just sticks out in my mind, making it easy for people like me just to comment and help you guys out in the littlest way possible.
Well, to be honest, like Mizzy, Calvin, Ryan's also in the crew. I'm gonna get shit for forgetting people as well, definitely. But yeah, Ryan, Calvin, Mizzy, and Jake were like the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a crew for a long, long time. And then they just started doing other shit, and essentially I had Observatory Records. I had a house in Burnaby where I had like a studio in the basement, and I
Mhm.
recorded a bunch of shit. I've been doing music for 10 plus years, so this is like I've been working with Jake and the kids for a long time as well on the side. Ali Dahesh is also a dude that he was my roommate when I had the studio. So we all sort of came together and we were like, okay, we're all doing all this different stuff. If we work together, we can make ourselves like a platform
Totally.
where automatically we have 10 people sharing our shit, because that's the crew, right?
Totally.
Anybody does something, you got 10 people in your corner that are automatically pushing that. So
Were you at Breakout West?
Breakout West.
Was that at, like the Kelowna festival?
Oh, I did. That's where I met Kairos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, me.
Because
like
you're
local-
Vancouver based. I thought you were coming from Kelowna for the longest time.
No. Local boy got on at Breakout last year. So I went up to sort of support them and be like, also Jay Bass, she does sound in Van. She's super talented. Me and her went up with Calvin and Jer to do like sort of just to be their squad.
Okay.
Back them up and, help them out, get ready for their shows, help them do sound, just network and shit like that. Plus it was like a great opportunity for us. There's tons of seminars, learned about like publishing and, social
It seemed like
media
it's a good time.
Yeah, if you get an opportunity, go check it out.
What do you mean if you get an opportunity? As in, like, don't you just have to pay and go?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you have the time and the money.
Yeah.
Pay and go.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you have the opportunity
Yeah.
to like
fair.
skip work and
Yeah.
go make it.
Which I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it was
Skinny
like,
Buff was actually wanting to like fly me out for some like thing that he was putting on. Like his collective is the Bandits, right?
yeah, those guys.
Much
are
like
cool.
kind of like your
yeah,
thing,
they got
right?
Their own
So
little squad. That's dope.
it's and it's like no, I don't have the opportunity. It doesn't matter how good it is. I don't get to leave. This is Kamloops. I stay here, and I appreciate you you coming on out to Kamloops. You are the fourth rapper that
I don't even rap. I just make beats.
You don't even rap.
No, I just make beats.
You're just the beat maker.
I'm like the production, like mixing guy.
You're the guys who don't get enough credit until recently when like producers have this weird street cred all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, now they're killing the game. So
yeah,
it's like,
ever since Fruity Loops. Shout out Fruity Loops.
Yo, man, Fruity Loops, great program. One of the first programs I used, but I don't use it a lot.
Well, yeah, people evolve from it. Just Fruity Loops.
Still, man, that's what like all the main dudes are fucking with Fruity Loops right now. It's crazy. Well,
Fruity Loops, like legitimately, there's a really great video by Genius, I think, explaining why Fruity Loops is so significant. And they like chatted with one of the developers, and it was very interesting to get his take because it was 100% of his passion project, and he released it under the company he was already part of. Like this developer basically just saying, here's my thing, release it, and then it becomes a hit, and Soulja Boy makes a career off of it.
Well, not only that, but like they've got like Gross Beat is a plugin for Fruity Loops, and essentially it's like sort of a tape slowdown effect, or like it can mimic what DJs do with the record, where they like do the like slow down stop and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You hear the sample when it gets like real warped and stuff.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, that's Gross Beat, and this is like the sound of like current production is Gross Beat.
The trap beat
like
is Gross Beat. It's like
anytime you hear the
it's like when
sample
Sale came out with AWOL Nation, right? Like there was just that Twixter video edit where it was just like the very, very super slow-mo Twixter plug-in for Premiere that you had to use in this like extreme sport world that I was a part of at that point.
Yeah, straight up. Like it's exactly like that. This is like, it's like every time you hear that, when the sample sounds like slowed down and all wavy and shit, it's probably Gross Beat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I found it really like I'm a Gary Vaynerchuk head, which you probably know.
I don't know.
You don't
I don't know anything.
Interesting.
Man. So like,
you're not a business head. You're just like the hey, I just liked being behind my computer and.
To be honest, like in the last year and a half was the first time that I was like, maybe I can approach music from a business angle and be okay with that.
So you've been doing this for 10 years, including having a studio.
It was all just a passion thing, man. I just made music and put it out.
Well,
I was like doing shows a little bit, but it was like, I don't even like doing shows. I don't like that spotlight. I want to be in the studio making shit sound tight.
All right.
That's my thing. So
I feel you.
So in the last year, I was sort of like, started realizing like, hey, I'm making beats for all these guys. And then they're buying beats off other people, but they're not paying me. And it's like, it was purely just because that was my attitude, was like, I'm just going to give everything away for free. I don't want to get money involved.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, wait, I make okay beats. I'm decent at mixing. I can fucking do that. It's like, that's a valuable service. Yeah. Plus, I got 10 years of experience doing this. It's like,
totally.
Man, I've DJ'd for Mocha Only. I played the Commodore. I've done all these like random things that like I didn't necessarily want to do, but
you have the sweat equity.
In hindsight, it's like,
he's actually going to order some dinner if possible.
Beer and like
I will send your server over.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sweet, thank you.
Sorry, I told you it's been a while since I've been here. I don't even know how things work anymore. It's I've been they. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Shout out Redbeard Cafe.
Yeah, they put up with all my shit. They actually have like a fast brew cafe next door because this one gets too busy. So like if you want your grab and go, you have to go next door. So that's why I'm like joking, because that's my grab and go place. So I'm like being the traitor, going to the new Mustache and Go, whereas Redbeard is still existing.
Interesting.
I've recorded many a podcast here, and very grateful because like it just doesn't work for me because I can't do it in my home unless like it's on like a day off during the day, like Skinny Buff showed up or whatever be right. Otherwise,
nice.
Like I recorded the Crayflow Evans podcast here.
Oh no way!
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that was interesting. Seeing him walk, I didn't know what to expect. at all.
Yeah,
I see
I've
him
not met
walk
that
in
dude,
in his
so-
like his sweatpants get up with his big glasses, and he just like walked in with his man purse of things and just like, hey, I'm here. I'm the, you're just like, oh, yep, all right.
Nice.
It was a fun time.
Good
fun
times.
time. Just like your music. Let's get back to that because that's what it is, I guess, about. Because a lot of people, like, I was having this fight today with someone about like doing something for fun and for passion without worrying about the money yet, and that being the idea that like there's more money down the road if I don't worry about it just yet.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for getting your business right. I mean, I wish I'd have known about SoCan and all that stuff from day one, because I legit would be getting paid off my money more, or off my music more.
Like, is it on the radio music SoCan
Well,
license
just
you'd get?
SoCan, anytime it's ever used, you'll get money for that. And it's like, yeah, you know what? Like, if your track gets played on college radio, it's like $5 or $10 a play. If your shit gets played on CBC, it's like $25 to $50 a play.
Oh, really?
It's not like joke money. That shit adds up.
See, I because like my understanding of the radio industry, is just why you would get your SoCan, and unless you have like an internet radio station, which I could do a pop up in like 30 minutes if I wanted to, but it was like the old school system of still like Atlanta being the cultural hub of hip hop. You still pay to have your track put on the radio,
Yeah,
and that's
like,
how you put yourself on.
for sure. But like also the way SoCan works is like they collect publishing on your behalf. So like you tell them what song you made, and then they just make sure that anytime that song gets played,
Yeah.
the money that's, because like here's the thing is like any venue that has live music,
Yes.
they pay money to SoCan at the beginning of the year, and then SoCan divvies that money up to any artist that says they
Okay.
played at that venue. So it's like the money's already there. It's not like they're chasing down money that is hard to get. It's like they've already collected it and they're holding it on your behalf.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, okay, so here's a funny story that I heard at Breakout. If there's any sort of dispute,
Yep.
like say you and me work on a song together, and I register it with SoCan and I say I made the whole thing. And then like down the road you register it with SoCan and you say you made the whole thing. Now there's a dispute on who made this song. SoCan just holds all the money until the dispute's resolved. They don't get involved. They don't arbitrate anything. It's
So-
up to you and me to figure it out. But until we do, nobody gets paid.
This is a weird world where it's like, is this regulation or is this the free market? Is this
Man,
is
this happened
fair?
with a Drake song. Some beat maker
Yeah.
put a claim on this song that Drake had a claim on, and SoCan was holding over $3 million just for this dispute for it to get resolved.
Was Drake in the right or was this other guy in the right? Do you remember?
I think it ended up being like some out of court agreement settlement
Yeah.
where they probably paid the beat maker so that Drake could have like 100% publishing. But
Interesting.
I don't know what the resolution was, but it's like this is what SoCan's there for, and
Like,
it's like
it-
super interesting.
I'm very interested because, like, when you're in hip hop or involved in hip hop, right? There's this whole like street underground mentality to mainstream, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And eventually, yeah, you do have to pay by the mainstream rules, right? Such as SoCan to get money and make
Well,
a
I mean,
career
like-
of it. But then at the same time, you're stealing Fruity Loops to get it going, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's this funny like. It's
Well, you can
very
register
gray.
anything with SoCan, right? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. They're not going to, like, be like, oh, did you clear this sample? They're
Totally.
just going to be like, oh, okay, this is a song that this guy says he owns and he wrote.
Yeah. I guess it's interesting because we're in this new area of like digital rights and media and who owns what, right? Like, I never have someone sign a form to do my podcast because I just assume, since I don't really edit it, right? I don't try and take them out of context too much. or
Yeah,
at
but
all,
I mean, like,
that they're not going to come back and be like, oh,
Well, like,
you made me look bad.
well, really, it's like not only does it not even matter what they think, but it's like you're recording this, you own these masters. It's like even if I was like, hey, dude, I want a copy of that, it's like, no, that's your property.
Totally. But it even goes back to like the idea of like a photographer. Of like, it's my camera, but you take the photo as your photo, even if it's on my camera. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know there's like different laws with like signing releases for photography and shit.
It
and
gets
like you can
very
get
strange.
photographed like in a public place and then it doesn't matter, but if it's like on somebody's property, you have to make like
Oh, yeah.
you have to get their agreement. So I don't know, pretty interesting.
It's and in the world of memes, right, where I can just like, okay, one day I'm gonna go in a Holy Sock Gang terror meme world. Like, there's nothing you guys can really do, but you're also a loosely based collective. You should be able to overpower the memes, anyways. But
And it's like fair use. That's like such an interesting concept too, where it's like you can take copyrighted material and use it if you're
making
a derivative work or whatever, or not a derivative work, but like
that's an American
like an
term,
interpolation,
though.
Right?
Yeah, that's the problem. It gets fuzzy in fair use. Like when it comes to like if you're making money from it, aka it's a business, and now you're transforming it, right? Like, are you transforming it to make money, or are you like transforming it to make art? But isn't art but business? Like, isn't that like a really famous quote by someone who I can't remember, saying like
Probably sounds
you know,
legit.
business is the most highest form of art or whatever be, right? So it's like it gets really, it's just like free speech doesn't technically exist in the same way that it does in the States. It just kind of, that terminology just perforates the border and comes up here when really
true.
we have
That's a good point.
freedom of whatever the, you know, charter actually says.
Yeah.
Right, which is terrifying with the fact that, you know, the charter could get changed if too many people, you know.
Yeah, let's not talk about politics.
Yeah, let's not talk about politics.
Yeah.
That's like politics, sex, money. Those are the three things that you're not allowed to talk about. And it's like everything people talk about now on podcasts and this real new world that we're part of kind of freedom of borders and whatever. But we all collect lately under BC Underground hip hop. That's what we're all about. No, you're about Signal these days.
No, I fuck with everything, man. The Signal, I got put onto that by my buddy Baines, and I always saw him just posting the funniest stuff in here, and just like the comments were always gold. And I'm just like, what the hell is this group? And so he was like, oh, you should check it out. It's so funny. Like, these kids are hilarious. And he's like, and there's like some good music that they like. It's all the hot new shit.
Yeah.
Every Thursday they have a thread about like all the new albums that are coming out, you know? So it's
crazy.
just like,
it's just like, okay, there's the pulse. I'm going to put my finger on it on every Thursday. And yep, okay, I understand that now. Move on. Like,
I'm
great.
a DJ, right? So I want to be able to like go rock a party and play shit that people want to hear. And I want to be playing the stuff that like, that's hot, that people are going to be like, damn, what's that song you just played?
So what songs are like, people, like, do people, like, it was so weird seeing like kids dance to like Mo Bamba or like fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine shit. Like, it's just like, how? And why the fuck is Blueface part of Double XL? I just found out that today.
Blueface he's popping, man. It's like,
but is he really? Is he really even at all talented?
You know what's funny is like, oh, here's our shit. Hold on.
We're just gonna pause for a sec. All right, we're back on. We just paused for a sec, so DJ Billy Bishop could order a beer. DJ Billy Bishop. I had to say it. You know what? I should honestly like revisit the Billy Bishop meme for you and just like see what I dig up, because that I like that way that you've like taken something that's like kind of historic Canadian heritage and then applied it to like the current context in your own manner, even if it is just like lifting a name or lifting an image. Like, no different than like Zilla from City Morgue did with Godzilla, right? And even though that's not even his full name, but I just remember him as Zilla. Like, that's just the power of that branding or whatever be, right? And I guess as a DJ Billy Bishop, right? It stands out. It's not like you need like DJs kind of get some freedom in because they're not judged on lyrics.
Oh yeah, like that's it. Is I've never rapped once in my life, so it's pretty much like that's what it's about for me, is the music. And I like that nobody's ever gonna listen back to one of my songs and be like, oh, what was he trying to say with that? It's like,
totally, it's just like, hey, I was just spinning what was current and relevant, which is where like Spotify curators are like a legit job now, where you
straight
can,
up straight up, man.
Isn't that wild?
Oh, thank you so much.
That,
hey, can I get a mushroom burger too? One of these. Can I get fries?
He's figuring out if he wants fries with his mushroom burger. What a bloody hipster with his craft beer.
Oh, it's not even craft, man. It's just Phillips ain't craft beer, is it?
When you come from Ontario, it counts as craft.
Oh, I should have got some Bohemian.
To be honest, like, I don't drink anymore because, you know, the Kyle comes out in me, so nice. I don't. But yeah, they have like one of the best rotating taps here in all of BC in this little cafe in Kamloops.
That's
and
dope.
like they had this like there's an actual like basement here that I've been in and had like this guy come in from Vancouver with this blog and had like a PowerPoint presentation all about BC craft and sharing the stories and the
Dope.
culture. And it was like, yeah, this is the cultural hub of Kamloops that, you know, even just, you know, the owner, you know, and he has this manifesto all about, you know, revitalizing, you know, the area that is, and so
Nice.
it's really cool to see his manifesto, you know, come to life and blossom.
That's
as we
awesome.
Look around and see all the flowers.
Yeah, it's truly amazing here.
It's a different experience just meeting someone at like a picnic table and a cafe than I think like a studio.
Yeah.
Like studios mean business to me. Like that's like when I actually have a studio where I can like set stuff up and leave it and like really fucking start rocking like an everyday 1 hour daily podcast or whatever be like, that means fucking business. But that means like I gotta pay rent.
Yeah. No, it's funny that you say that, because when I had my home studio, it was just like, it was chill, man. I'd go in there, I'd smoke pot, I'd fucking listen to records. Sometimes I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
When we rented the studio space down in Gastown, every time I went there, it was to do work.
Yeah, you couldn't afford not to. Like,
Man, straight up.
you call it Gastown for a reason, right? Gastown has a name to it. Like to brand yourself as a producer in Gastown at the right time when it was going through that cultural revolution.
Oh, we were just,
That'd
that
be
was just
pricey.
the studio space that we found. It was actually a sweet deal, man. It was like $700 a month
That's not bad at all.
for downtown Vancouver, like
Yeah.
2 rooms
Oh,
in
really?
a dedicated like
Man,
studio
You should have someone
environment.
freaking sleeping there. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
If they, you know, didn't catch on to that part.
No,
But
I know.
the-
But it was just for work. We had like 10 people going in on rent, so it was like
$70.
anytime possible,
Yeah.
somebody would be in there working. You know,
That's the way to do it.
we had people in there like from 2 till 4 in the morning just making beats or recording or whatever. And
That's like a premium gym membership, just for like perspective's sake, since you like divvied up with 10 people.
yeah,
Like, that's not bad at all.
man, you
Less
just
than your
got to make
phone
it
bill.
work, right? Like, it's, and that's the thing is, from when I had my studio space, I had a lot of the equipment, and then like when you're going in with 10 people, everybody's got one little piece, and then all of a sudden you have a pretty sweet little studio. And
Totally.
you don't have to throw too much down. I think the only things we actually invested in for that space were a sub and some new monitors.
Oh, nice.
And it was like, at the end of the day, now we got a sweet new sub and monitors, so
Yeah.
it's dope.
Yeah, I know that there's like a few little home studios pop up with their like little Instagram rate accounts and whatever be, and
Yeah.
it's neat. It's neat to see and for me to like gauge like if I wanted to actually, you know, like take the production side of my podcast seriously, because I don't really take it seriously because that's just not what I do.
Yeah.
But the audio always comes out well enough. But then again, you're the producer. I'm not. So we'll
like,
find out.
this is what I've learned doing this shit for 10 years is you don't need much to make it sound good, and you don't need a fancy studio space. If you spend some time just with some headphones on, listening to what the actual microphone is hearing,
Yeah.
like just put some headphones in there
So
and
yeah.
listen for the best spot in the room. It's like there'll be a sweet spot.
Oh,
and
for
then
sure.
you just put the mic there, and then that's how you do it.
I need to get like proper like studio headphones, because I'm like using like Bluetooth headphones that I have a plug-in to
Oh,
adapter
yeah,
to
yeah.
adapter. So it's like just because.
Yeah, monitoring is pretty important, man. Getting a good, and it doesn't even have to be like a good pair of headphones. It's just something that you know well.
Yes.
Like
no,
if you've
I
listened to all your favorite albums through one pair of headphones, it's like, dude, mix on those.
the problem is like I needed like a studio plug-in that plugs straight into my mixer without the adapter from 3.5 to whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's
true.
That's the most important. Like none of this like Mickey Mouse shit. Like
Yeah.
like people have issues if I rig something together. The reason why it sounds bad is because it's rigged together as cheaply as possible.
Yeah.
Which is good enough for what I've done thus far. But it's like, okay, if I ever want to really
Oh, these are
level up.
nice mics and stuff, though, man. You got
No, this is only one of my setups. So this is the core of my setup,
yeah.
and it all fits into the backpack,
Nice.
which goes into that book there. So the H4N is the, hey, pop-up podcast.
Yeah, those are super nice.
Then we add the 2100 and the 2005 by Audio-Technica on just stance. And that's just like my, hey, let's actually just podcast, not worry about stuff.
Thank you.
But then I've got like a mixer at home
Nice.
that I like will like rig my phone into and then rig a podcast, like and try and do.
So you can run music while
yeah,
you're,
so I can start doing like maybe I want to do like a live stream solo, or maybe I want to have a call in, right?
Yeah,
but since
yeah.
it's kind of Jimmy rigged because I have to keep things as cheap as possible. It works, but it's not as good as it could be if I went out and spent just another $20 here, another $80 there, and kind of like just discard my like patchwork get buys.
Yeah.
And once the patchwork's gone, like then at that point it's just like finding a spot to set it and forget it, because the takedown and teardown of living in a small condo life sort of thing is just like it's not possible, right? Like my baby was like, oh yeah, I definitely can't keep my smoking stuff there anymore because she's grabbing it, and the wife doesn't like that aspect. So I'm trying to like figure out the routine of it all, right? So even just you working with me of like, I can't put my baby down right now, like means a lot, because it's like it's challenging to like time some shit sometimes.
Well, I'm like older than you too, so like a lot of my friends have kids and stuff, and I know that's a real thing that you got to work into your life. I'm lucky that I have time to be flexible and just come meet you on your schedule. You know what I mean?
It's been very interesting because like yesterday I met someone, big YouTuber, almost a million subs, 750,000 subs. He's a competitive eater named Randy Santel. But I only managed to get like 13 minutes with him just because like he just schedules didn't line. Not he wasn't going to spend too much time here. I was like, I would love to have this sort of conversation with him, but just couldn't push it yesterday, right? Yeah. But I pushed it today and got the okay from the wife, and
nice.
Away I go. So it's like it's been a fun project. And you've been to Kamloops a few times in recent weeks, in recent months. Do you remember the goof bat?
Oh yeah, of course, man. That was dude.
I loved.
Trying not to get my fingerprints on that, eh?
I love that you found this,
the goof smasher.
The goof smasher. It was someone had nailed a bunch of nails through a baseball bat or a piece of wood and wrote "goof smasher" on it, and left it out to lay just stone's throw away from the hospital. Yeah.
Good times, right by the Denny's.
Yeah, Cody found it, and I decided to adopt it as my own find, because I think that's the funniest thing about like the internet. There's so many like.
Oh, you just got to take a picture of that, because that's truly a gift that's going to keep on giving. Is that picture of the goof smasher?
So one day it just has to come on out.
Yeah.
I guess it's also hard for people to sometimes see and experience or whatever be. And I guess like I was having a conversation with someone today about like them going to Kelowna and just like them like being shocked at how much more transparent or in the open their opioid crisis is compared to Kamloops. Which
you guys hide it, or
it's not that it's hidden; it's just still in low volumes.
Yeah, I feel like around where I'm staying, I think there's like some shelters or something, because there's been lots of.
You're not too far away from a few areas of note, including the hospital and downtown core.
Yeah,
but like. In terms of like having like a collective of like, and this is straight from someone who knows these streets really, really well, Amy Giddens, who went to Kelowna Pride. She found like 50 shopping cart collectives, right? Like in Kelowna, right? Like that's we don't have that yet here in Kamloops. Like it hasn't really transpired. And
well, like how many would you say? How many homeless people would you have in town here? Do you know? Do you do homeless
there's a homeless
here?
count, yeah, but. They're, of course, always off. It's only like 400-ish, if that.
Still, like, what's the population here? 500,000? Less?
500,000?
I don't know, man.
Less than 100,000. Not even 100,000, yeah. Yeah, it's a small town.
Dude, percentage-wise, that's pretty big, then.
Maybe I need to look at my numbers.
Yeah, I don't know, because, like, you think
the visible like, homeless like isn't the same.
Couple grand? Like 2,000 to 4,000 homeless people in Vancouver?
I guess it's the visible homeless that I guess that Kamloops doesn't really have, like, because Kamloops never really had the visible drug user until maybe recent.
Yeah, I feel like Kamloops has always been like a more like sporty, like it's a college town. Yeah, you guys got the university here.
It's interesting getting your. Yeah, there's a university here. It's one of like our main employers is the TRU University.
Yeah.
So it like transitioned from like a college to a university. So they're a big employer. We've got a bunch of different government offices, a lot of CN,
Isn't there
railway,
like
a lot of
an SFU or a
resource.
UBC campus somewhere close by?
No, that would be like Merritt
Oh, okay.
or Kelowna.
Okay.
We're our own 100% own university here, but we're in our own microcosm. Like we're in our own bubble. Like
Well, yeah, Kamloops has always had like a very distinct identity to me growing up. Like, okay, so a little background. My parents are from Okanagan, Oliver.
okay.
And I grew up like going to Oliver for 4 to 6 weeks every year of my life, like until maybe a couple of years ago. So I've spent so much time in the Okanagan, man. This is like my second home. I spent tons of time in Kamloops, Kelowna, Penticton, Osoyoos, like Vernon, all
Did the
through this
circuit.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's-
yeah, I really have like I don't know like these cities super well, but I've definitely grown up with a knowledge of them, like, and I've sort of seen like the vibe over time too.
The Okanagan has always had that chill vibe, I guess. Like, but that might have been the marketing, the branding. Well done.
I mean, like, it was funny because I was always surprised coming up to Oliver, which was a super small town,
Yeah.
from like Burnaby, which is like essentially Vancouver,
Yeah.
and it was like tons more drugs and just like people would like get way more wild and stuff like that, and it was definitely I got like that small town vibe a bit. But then same with Kelowna, man, is kind of a rough town. Even when I was there for Breakout, I saw like a fight every night almost. Where it's like in Vancouver, I don't know, man. I guess I don't hang out in those areas, but I don't see too much like just people wilding out like that.
It's always different though when you see like something in new, with new eyes. I guess it's like what you're comfortable with is what you're comfortable with, and you might end up not seeing something.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy how we can like almost train ourselves to like forget things or like
Oh,
not
definitely.
acknowledge things. Like I like watching like the police drive down and like see if they turn their heads to look at the guy who's sleeping on the ground there, or the girl at the corner there, right? And they don't. The head's not on a swivel, right?
Yeah.
It's tough, but I don't know. I'm hopeful that that hip hop, the one good thing that comes out of hip hop this year is this real big, anti-drug-ish push that we're kind of seeing.
Yeah,
It's starting
I
to bubble
think
up.
Yeah, no, I think so. Like, well, definitely. I mean, it's just like so many people have died from fentanyl, and like,
Yeah.
it's like, holy shit, man.
Well, it's like $20,000 worth of powder will make like you $20 million in pills or something crazy. Like the numbers are
I
retarded.
mean, like, I've had friends that have overdosed and died, man. It's like everybody that I know knows somebody that's
Yeah.
overdosed. And my parents are calling me, telling me that they're like friends who are in their 60s overdosed and died on fentanyl.
you serious?
I'm not even joking.
See, that's what I mean by like the hidden homeless, the hidden drug population. Like that's what Kamloops has. Like the what is it? The cowboy crack, right? Like,
Oh,
have
yeah.
you ever heard that kind of term?
No.
It's like kind of like from like southern, like states area, or whatever. But the idea of like cowboy crack, right? Like, yeah, even cowboys like their drugs, even though they liked being anti-drug, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, for sure, man. Like Fort Mac, look at that shit. Like, shout out Alberta, Chris Stumpy. Is he from out there?
Stumpy's in Calgary.
Yeah.
Yes, Stumpy's a real one.
Dude, I got a lot of respect for that guy. He was like, okay, so I'm gonna. When I first
he's had
started,
a
like,
tough
really.
fucking year too.
Oh man, rest in peace, his basement, man. I heard it just like
it
fucking
flooded.
got shit flooded.
He finally got like his dream apartment and free of all some bullshit, and it flooded.
Yeah, but no, when I first started, like for a long time, I was like on BC Underground, but I don't think I had notifications turned on or anything. Never really participated, and then. I don't know, when we started doing our Holy Sock Gang shit, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to join all these hip-hop groups. And, man, I joined, like, 25 hip-hop groups.
So
Just
many are dead.
like, dude, I figured, like, okay, so there's a BC Underground hip-hop for every place in the world. So I started, like, hitting up, like, Paris Underground hip-hop, all these different, like,
Yeah.
hip-hop groups from around the world. And, like... Yeah, they're all garbage, man. It's like they're not active, or it's just like one dude spamming the group every time. And
That's what I can't explain to certain people. Like, how like special the BC Underground hip hop form actually is.
At least there's a vibe, man. Like even if it's dumb sometimes, at least there's a vibe, and like people
there's a
kind of know
pulse.
each other. And like look, you and me are sitting here having a conversation. I would have never met you if it wasn't for that shit,
Totally.
right? So same with like a lot of people. And Chris Dumpy's one of those dudes that like I saw him like sort of clowning a lot of people and just joking around, and I didn't really like get his vibe that much.
Yeah.
But now that like, dude actually cares about important stuff and like is pretty articulate and not afraid to like own his mistakes, and he's like
If there's something that I don't want to say, he'll straight up say it. And he asks him to do something half the time. Yeah, okay, done. Like he had to turn off a little bit because of life stuff, but for a while, yeah, like he was like,
and like don't get me wrong,
Don Castro's main go-to guy for like anything media production, and he just did it all.
Yeah,
loved it.
That's dope. Like I say, I've had maybe like 3 short little internet conversations with that dude. Mostly I just send him pictures of goats that I find that are like interesting pictures of goats. I'm like, this man would appreciate this goat, so I just send him the goat
sweet.
in
Nice.
the DMs. But yeah, just like,
well, he's managed to bring in like Lars Sparka in with like the goat memes, and now he's part of the mod team, whatever be, which brings that whole King of the Dot heritage legacy kind of with them, right? So like, basically, BC Underground has all the stage lights and the stage set. Right now, it just needs the audience.
Yo, shout out Rob Ripka, because that guy like fucking works hard.
He's smart. He's like he was really low key, and like I didn't really understand or get him, but I went on a big like compliment thing this morning about Rob Ripka, and then this kid, this guy from Zimbabwe who I was supposed to meet on the podcast, and he blew me off because he slept in.
Shout out Zimbabwe.
Timapi, I think he's from Zimbabwe. Timapi, I can't say his name, Tim, but he lets me call him Token now, and and like. Him and I had just had the most insane Facebook Live this morning of just talking about like signal style hip hop, but doing it the Canadian Underground hip hop thing, and it was just like, it was amazing. It was just like 20 minutes of just like, sweet, this is great. And then
shout out the Signal. Fuck, I love that group, man. You know what? I've met so many. Sorry to just cut you off.
No, the
like
Signal's
this.
great though. Like we're trying to get the Signal to happen more. Like that's what people don't understand. Like BC Underground, Canadian Underground hip hop, there needs to be trap involved.
Well, not only that, but just like I find the discourse in that group is much
Healthier.
much more civil. Because you know what? Oh, thank you so much.
It's
yes, please.
the reason why it's more civil is because they're the age that grew up 100% online. Like I saw the transition, you saw the transition.
Oh yeah, man.
We saw the transition of going from like dial-up to like where we are now.
Oh yeah, I remember my dad signing me into chat rooms when I was a kid, being like, "See if you can meet any strangers on the internet, Cody." And it's just like, dude, that mentality is long gone,
right? So they actually come up with guards and like fences of sorts, like they've protected themselves and insulated themselves in a really healthy, safe way, in a way.
And like the be wholesome thing, I know it's a big joke, and it's like, yeah, oftentimes people say some stupid shit there too. But it's like most of the time, if you disagree with someone, you just like sad react and move on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, man, there's not these like bitch fests where everyone's just calling each other names.
Well,
it's
that's the thing, though.
They're talking about actual things.
BC Underground hip hop is, again, the stage without the audience. The Signal is actually the audience. Like that's what some people don't get.
Yeah, no shit.
Right? Like
these guys are consumers. They're the guys that are
they're the guys with money.
They're the guys that are trying to buy the new album every week when it comes out, man. Like, don't you get it?
Yeah,
you get it.
Oh yeah, they're the ones who are flipping Supreme, or being able to afford Supreme.
Yo, you should join a Vancouver streetwear community if you're not already. It's a great forum.
I jumped I jumped into like a bunch of them just to like see what's out there, and like most of them are just like lame ass like, is this real? Is this OVO hat real? No, doofus. They don't come out for another week. You know, like, so I'm trying to be more intentional with a lot of things I'm doing, so I like unsubscribe to a bunch, including like the Yellow Vest Canada movement, which I used to just watch to see what was going on and bubbling up, and nothing happens interesting.
Man, I didn't even
anymore.
know that was a thing until recently.
Really?
I think it was Harley. You know Harley?
No, I don't.
Dub
think
G.
so. Oh, I know Dub G. Yes, I never call him Harley. I always call him Dub G.
Okay, Dub G was posting some shit because these dudes were supposed to have a demonstration in Burnaby, and he was like, "Who wants to come out and like anti-demonstrate?"
Yeah.
And I was like, super interested because this is like where I live.
Yep.
And I'm like, yellow vesters, what the fuck is this? Like,
That's a meme gone wrong, is what that is.
it's like, because like there was like this yellow vest thing in Paris.
Yep.
Which was like, not a racist right wing thing.
Yes. Yeah, it's a meme gone wrong, right?
Yo,
so when I talk about memes, right, and when Stumpy talks about memes and the power of memes, we're just trying to prove that they work. We don't say that we have the talent to be rappers. We're making fun of the rappers who say they have the talent but won't put in the work.
Man, that's it. Is like memes. It's like this is like just like a reproduction of something that you that is. Oh, thank you so much. Another beer just got delivered for the listening audience.
We were going to smoke at one point, but
Oh, yo, I got a joint in my pocket.
I don't know if I have, like, I don't want to push the...
Oh, shit.
Are you around tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm here till Wednesday.
You're
But
till
I'm
Wednesday.
supposed to meet with my cousin at around 3. You work till...
I don't work tomorrow.
Oh, you
but
don't work
but
tomorrow.
I have my daughter after, like, 3, basically. I start watching her or whatever, and then the wife comes home or whatever.
Should we just take a pause and smoke right now?
We could do that. We could. All right, we'll probably continue this conversation in a bit, but cheers.
Yeah.
You know what? Would it be better to... I haven't paused yet. Would you better do a part 2 or pause it? I don't know.
Part 2. Let's just do a
it-
part 2, man. This has
let's
been a
just do a
great
part 2.
conversation.
Let's
This
just
has
do
been like
part
a
2.
nice-
And maybe part 2 could even be tomorrow or some other time if we don't return.
Yeah.
Because I think that would actually be the wisest, smart thing, and pack this up.
I agree, man.
You know what? Because
This has been a nice little conversation.
We've just started our friendship.
Absolutely. This is the first time I met you, man.
Well, this is actually the first time we've actually met. The friendship started as per whatever Facebook.
Yeah, internet friendship
And-
turned
and-
into IRL friendship.
IRL friendship. Like, so many people consider Facebook like some sort of legacy traditional media and treat it like it's the newspaper or some shit. And people forget, like, you legit can make like
yeah,
the
you
most
can be out
insane
here.
network because Holy Sock Gang got that Nardwar's co-sign not too long ago. That was crazy.
Yo, Nardwar's a real one, man. This guy is a legend.
Okay, I need this on record. So tell the Nardwar story and then we're out.
Okay, so well, my homeboy Mizzy works for Timber Promotions or Timber Concerts.
Okay.
So oftentimes he's working like me and him just work Breakout Fest. Nardwar shows up to all these events to interview like the hot new artists.
Lil Birthday shout out.
So it's like you start seeing the same dude like backstage every time. It's like, and then not to mention we were like hashtagging Nardwar in every single post we made for
I
like
know, it was
6
amazing.
months, man. So it's like obviously dude knew what we were doing.
He has an
And we-
amazing TED Talk.
We
amazing
Oh
TED
yeah,
Talk.
so good when people are spitting in his mouth and stuff.
just the concept of do it yourself,
Yeah.
right? Like so many fucking people don't get, like, he was fucking punk rock, like running around basically with a cassette tape and a microphone and just making cassette tape radio shows basically for no one but himself in a way.
Man, punk rock is the inspiration for trap. That's what people don't understand that hate trap. They think that trap's like some stupid shit, like mumble rap, like these kids are disrespecting the heritage of hip hop. You look at people like the Dead Kennedys, did they give a fuck about Elvis or the Beatles? Hell no. They had no respect for those people. But you know what? They were making their own wave, and
Totally.
that's what's going on with trap right now. And it's like, dude, yeah, obviously they're still influenced by Biggie and Tupac,
absolutely.
man. But it's like the fact that they're not saying they are, it's like they're rejecting that traditional
Yeah, they don't need to be like
value
Lil
set.
Xan and say fuck Tupac or he's boring
Yeah,
or whatever.
Lil
beat,
Xan-
right? Like Lil Xan
Oh,
has
man.
no talent aside from being.
I really hope that
poster
guy's
boy for
okay,
mental illness.
man. Yeah, he really is mentally ill. Unfortunately, he's not getting a lot of help with it either from his like people around him.
No, not at
They're
all.
just like using him and sucking him dry.
Yeah,
Man.
like honestly, like Adam 22 should fucking take some responsibility there. But anyways, thanks for tuning in to Cameo with Nevin Webster.
Cameo, shout it out.
Shout it out. Join the community online. Feel
Yo.
free to subscribe.
Look up Holy Sock Gang on Instagram and Facebook and all that
Spotify.
shit.
And on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
Spotify is a major one that you should look both of us up.
Yo.
Spotify is just eating away the audio market, and we have our little corner cut out. So
Did you hear Spotify has just announced they're going to crack down on bots and
on what?
on bots and like people who are using algorithms to play their shit? So all the fake streams are going to get cut out.
Oh, of course, it was in due time. So, anyways, we'll leave it there.
Okay.
And appreciate. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening in.
Yo,
Peace.
big respect.